Hansi, Harry Lafon Nishikasun. I come from the Muskeg Lake Cree Nation here in Saskatchewan. I'm currently the Executive Director for the Office of Treaty Commissioner, and I'm also a member of the board for the Saskatchewan Prevention Institute. Now, the purpose of this presentation is to capture the way the elders use to teach the young people about the transitioning from young child to young adult. And they use storytelling as a way to engage these young people so that they understand from their own lives how they are to move from one stage into the next. Sexuality is a special gift from the Creator, and it brings the ultimate gift of children. As children move from birth to child, and from child to young adult, and from adult to elder, there are ceremonies to prepare them as they move from one stage to the next stage. It is through these teachings and these ceremonies that they learn to live in harmony and to lead a balanced life.
Who in the family and community is responsible for teaching girls and young women about their sexual nature and maturing into young adulthood?
In our tradition, in our culture, it was always the mothers and the grandmothers, especially the grandmothers.
You can father children, but most importantly, not just be a father, but be a parent. The most important thing in a relationship of a man and a woman is learning how to become a parent. Parenting is a difficulty. It's a difficulty of doing it right, and you can only learn that at the disposal of these three very important individuals: the grandfathers, the mother and fathers, and the Okichitak and the Okskabersak.
We hope this presentation will empower the young people and the elders to reconnect with their traditional values, with their traditional ceremonies, to understand the transition from one stage to another stage as part of their sexual maturation. We encourage young people to seek help and advice from the elders, from their families, their mothers and their fathers, their older brothers, their older sisters, and in this way understand the importance of their community as a support system as they grow from one stage into the next stage.
When I was growing up with my grandparents, they used to take me to the bush, way out in the bush, where a place there's no sound or anything, just the wild animals and stuff like that. They leave me there for 4 days and 4 nights without food, water, nothing. They call it fasting. There you see things that you never see in your life. You learn things that you never know before. You hear things that you never heard before. You're not alone. You're surrounded with all kinds of spirits with you.
The teachings was that never to disrespect their body and to keep it safe, to protect it, to protect themselves, and not to hurt it in any way, I guess. And today we see a lot of hurting young women that are lost and have lost their ways, and it's time that we, the knowledge keepers and the elders, help our young people in getting them back into their safe journey.
Now, if you have a drinking problem or thinking about suicide, talk to somebody. If you keep that to yourself, eventually, I see that a lot of times, and these young people are committing suicide. It seems like there's no place for them to go, but there is places to go. You have to talk to an elder. How you're feeling, what you're going through. Don't be scared to go out there and get help. and work on yourself. This is the message I'd like to pass on to these young people.
This presentation is representative of 4 of the 8 First Nations in Saskatchewan: the Plains Cree, the Dene from the north, the Nakota or Saulteaux from the east, and the Nakota and the Dakota. Now, these First Nations share some common beliefs and they share some common practices in their ceremonies, but they nevertheless are of different peoples, and their diversity comes through in how they teach their young people.
You people used to tell us, so many away in your life. You will light a fire 7 times. That's how they described it. And today it's interpreted as 7 stages of life, or the 7 fires of life.
There's one story I heard. There was a test that they did in the Assiniboines. There was three tests that you had to pass. One was that you were given a rope and you were given a wild Mustang, and you had to tame that wild Mustang to ride it. Once that feat was done, your next test was that you find a badger and you try to kick it in the ass while it's running the other way. And the other one, and then the third one was that if a fire like that, you take a hot log and then you put it out in your hand. And then if you did pass those 3 tests, then you would become a man. Now, I don't know how true that is, especially the kicking of the badger in the ass.
The 9 months that we carry our children, very spiritual. It originated to the clan mothers. There are 13 of them, 13 clan mothers, but the 9 should be working here on earth. That's why the woman was given 9 months to bear the children in their body. And it's very important that I teach my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren these, because the clan mothers, they are the ones that sit with the law. So of course I have to teach them. That's part of child rearing.
The oral history shared by the memory keepers is a living collection of our worldviews, our languages, our values, our laws, and our ceremonies. The elders have agreed to share with us their wisdom and their knowledge on film. It is a legacy for the young people that they teach, but it's also a legacy for the generations to come.
So to me, I think oral teaching is very important to us First Nations people. That was the way we learned many of our ways of life, our prayers, our spirituality. And I always like to refer to the young people that they have to be strong. They have to understand. They have to have that true belief in themselves and in everything around them. And that's the only way that they live a good way of life.
Yeah.